Hello everybody! I brought with me today one of my all-time favorites. Do you know what that is? That's a piece of rope. Now this is a fairly long piece of rope, not to be confused with one of these, because that's a short one. And of course neither one of those is exactly like this, because that one is a medium one. So we have three pieces of rope, one short, one medium and one long, and it's my job to take these three pieces of rope and make them look the same length. I do it like this, which doesn't convince anybody. It looks a little bit better if you give them a bit of a rub first like that. They look a little bit more like they are all in fact the same length. We end up with one that's medium length, two that are medium length, and three that are medium length. Now if that's a little bit hard to follow, don't worry. We'll make it simpler. We'll get rid of one and we'll do it instead with two. Two medium rope. Actually, you know what? We could just do it with one. Now, if you missed that, we have a piece of rope, right? But a moment ago, we had two, didn't we? Never mind. We only need one of those. Now, if I take that piece of rope and I keep the ends as far away from the middle bit as I can get them, if I tuck one end down into my fist, a flick of the wrist, that end runs up my arm, goes around my shoulders, down the other arm, and it pops out there. But we still have two ends and a middle bit, so it's still a normal piece of rope. If I take the second end, tuck the second end in like that, a flick of the wrist, that end runs up the arm, goes around the shoulders, down the other arm, and it pops out there. But like I said, we still have two ends and a middle bit, so it's still a normal piece of rope. The only thing you want to make sure you never do if you're playing around with a piece of rope is take the ends off. You do that, then you've got problems. Not that it's the end of the world. All you have to do is take those ends, stick them back on like that, and once again, you've got a normal piece of rope. Are you following this? Good. Now, I can't tell you exactly how this works, but I can give you a hint. It's called static electricity. Yes. Helps if you're wearing cheap polyester. A little rub like that on one sleeve, a rub like that on the other. Before you know it, you get a middle bit of rope. Now, if that happens, you always have to be prepared. So personally, I carry with me at all times extra ends. All you have to do is find the soft spot on the rope and you can throw them back on again. It doesn't mean you can't take them off again, if you choose. Just as long as you remember to throw them back on like that once you're done. Yes? So, we have a piece of rope, but if you go back in time, we had two, didn't we? If you go back in time before that, we had three. But if you remember, we had three medium pieces of rope. However, on the count of three, I'm going to break the illusion for you. I want you all to count nice and loud. Here we go, all together. 1, 2, 3, like that. You end up with one short piece of rope, you end up with one medium piece of rope, and you end up with one great big long piece of rope. There we go, thank you very much. I have one more very special thing I'd like to share with you. But for this, I'm going to need a little bit of help. I'm going to ask my friend Duhin to join me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. It worked!
Oh, hi.
Hey!
I don't know how I got here, but thanks for having me.
It's a secret though. Duhin, nice to see you. Thank you for coming to help me.
Of course.
I have two things I'd like to show you.
All right, exciting.
I want you to examine that. What does that look like to you, Duhin?
I want to say that's a piece of newspaper.
That is indeed a piece of newspaper. The second thing I'd like you to examine is this. What does that look like?
Ooh, a bottle of root beer, my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah.
Can you double check and make sure that that is glass?
Yep, that's definitely glass.
Nice and solid. Now, Duhin, I'm going to take your little bottle of root beer and I'm going to wrap it tightly in a piece of newspaper for reasons that will become apparent in just a moment.
I'm excited.
We're going to wrap this up a bit like a Christmas present. All right. And now, Duhin, could you stand up nice and straight with your hands by your side? Because I'm going to take this bottle and I'm going to shove it right through Duhin.
Oh,
Who wants to see me shove a bottle through Duhin?
No,
They
no,
all want
nobody
to
wants
see
to
that.
see
They
that.
all want to see that, don't you? Indeed. So Duhin, hands by your side. I'll explain how this works. I take the bottle, I shove it through the front, and it comes out the back. Okay, so it goes in through the front and out the back. I wrap the bottle in newspaper because even though it passes through quickly, it sometimes comes out the other side covered in gunk. And the last thing you want is a gunky bottle. So,
Are you sure you want to do this?
I am so
Think
certain.
about it for a second.
Yeah, I still want to do it. Hands by your side, thank you. Bottle goes in through the front and comes out the back. Now you'll notice when I do this, I aim just below the rib cage. Okay? This is because the human rib cage is specifically developed to prevent people from shoving bottles through it. Okay?
Oh.
Doing hands by your side. Remember, a bottle goes in through the front, comes out the back. But you guys have to count really nice and loud. On the count of 3. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Woo! Oh, that kind of tickled. Where did it
Ready?
go? Whoa! Okay, that was amazing.
Thank you. A little souvenir for you.
Thank you. I'm gonna keep this with me at all times.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, I don't need you anymore, so I'm going to send you back.
Okay.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, there we go. Thank you.